Rahim. So today we are just going to be talking about the types of the graph. So the first type, obviously we already done this one, that is a linear graph. Okay, linear graph means we have done the straight line graphs, right? The graph that we have the equation y is equal to mx plus c, but we have done different types. I told you if you have y is equal to some constant, so it means that you have a horizontal line, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm going to say that you have an equation, for example, you have y is equal to minus 2 like this. Okay. In the same way, you have a graph x is equal to some constant. X is equal to something. It is basically a vertical line. Like you have x is equal to 4. In the same way, if you have the equation y is equal to mx, there is no y-intercept. There is no y-intercept means it is 0. So we can conclude that it is passes from, yes, passes from
Origin.
Origin.
origin. There is no more intercept means it is passes from, that's 0, so means passes from origin. In the same way, for example, if you have the gradient, in this case you have the gradient is greater than 0, so from left to right the line is moving upward, and if the gradient is lesser than 0 means minus 2 minus 3, so the line from left to right is moving downward. It can be like this. How steep it is, it depends upon the gradient. And in the same way, if you have a proper equation of a line y is equal to mx plus c, we know that the m shows the gradient and c is your y intercept. We have done it in a very detail in the coordinate geometry as well as when we are doing in the inequalities. Any question everyone in here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
In the second one, we
No,
have
sir.
the quadratic graph. The quadratic graph means you have equation graph like ax square plus bx plus c. The whole equation is going to be depend upon the coefficient of x square. Again, all values are going to be depend upon the coefficient of x square. If your value of a is greater than 0, means you have a positive value, then the shape of the graph is going to be look like this. The name of this graph is known as parabola. And if the coefficient of x here is lesser than 0, then the shape of the graph is upside down. It's the same U shape, but it is upside down. And look at here, here you have a turning point. This point is known as
Turning point.
turning point. It is really important when you are going to be making a graph. So you have to be make sure that some things are going to be in your mind. For example, if you want to draw the graph of quadratics, you have to be show the x-intercepts, y-intercept, and turning point. Yes, the general shape is given. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, what's the other name? One is parabola and the second one is?
It's the same parabola, but it's upside down. It is the same. It both are parabolas, but the one is upside down. That's it.
Okay, sir.
1 second. I'm going to be sharing my full screen now. Now look at here. For example, if I'm going to draw the graph x square, can you see it? How the shape is? It's just
Parabola.
it's a U shape, a parabola shape. All right. So it doesn't matter what are the rest of the values. For example, if I'm going to write the rest of the values, 2x plus 3, sorry, plus 2x plus 3. So look at here, it is same shape. Just A is going to just shift a little bit upward, and obviously maybe it will be stretch or, but the shape is exactly same.
The
But
same.
if I'm going to just do one thing, I'm going to take a coefficient of x square is, let's say, 5. Look at here, shape is still same, versus more stretch. But if I'm going to be write a negative sign with it, look at here, the shape is going to be upside
Down.
down. Yes, everyone, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So same here. That's why I'm saying that if the coefficient of x square is greater than 0, means you have this shape, and if it is lesser than 0, so this shape is going to be upside
Down.
down. Now, look at here. Here we have the question. Okay, this shape is upside down, right?
Yes, sir.
This
Yes,
means
sir.
that this is the graph of the shape is a parabola.
Parabola.
It means x is square, and it is upside down and passes from the
Origin.
Alright.
origin. So means the coefficient of x square must be
Minus.
Negative.
right. It can be any value here, means 2, 3, 4, but I'm just going to take 1 because it's just going to be look like that. So you have to find the value of a. So the value of a is going to be -1, and the value of n is 2. So
Sir,
basically,
how
this is
do we know it's -1?
-1 because it is upside down. I have to take a negative coefficient. If you it
So,
is
sir,
going to
was
take
it
-2, it is
-2?
same like this. Yes.
Oh, yes, sir, got it.
It
If
can
you
be
have
any
-6, it is
point.
same shape. If you have take -7, it is going to be same shape because there is no rest of the values here. But we have to take a basic one. We have to take the integers. I just take -1. That's it. All right.
Yes,
So
Yes,
sir.
sir.
there are for n you have a multiple possible. Sorry, for a you have multiple possible values, the integers. But for n it must be 2, and the coefficient must be negative. Basically, here you have the marks for the negative sign and for the power 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, clear.
All right. Now the next thing is draw the quadratic graph. For quadratic graph, the first thing that you have to be shown on the graph, that is x-intercept. X-intercept means where the graph cut the x-axis. For that purpose, you have to take y value because we know that on x-axis the y will be 0. The second thing that you have to find, you have to find the y-intercept. For y-intercept, we know that on y-axis, x is equal to 0. And the third thing that you have to be sure, that is the turning point. You have to find turning point by using the completing square method. Yes, everyone. Any question to here? We'll do the example. No worries.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Go for we need to be how we can find a turning point. Always remember turning point. If the quadratic equation is going to be written in this form, a into x minus plus b whole square plus c. If you have to write the equation in this format, what type of this format is? It's basically a completing square, right? Then the value of with x, that is minus b, you have to take the opposite sign. If it is, for example, plus 2, you have to take minus 2. If it is minus 2, you have to take plus 2 comma c is the turning point. For example, you have written is 4x minus 5 whole square plus 7. So what is the turning point here?
Minus 5 and 7.
Not minus 5. Change the sign. Plus 5 comma 7. Okay, you have to take the opposite sign. Yes, Simon, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
X-intercept, Y-intercept, turning point. Let's see how to take the example. For example, examiner give you the equation y is equal to x square minus x minus 6. You have to draw a rough sketch. So first of all, what we have to find the y-intercept. Sorry, x-intercept. For x-intercept or x-intercept, y will be equal to,
0.
so you'll get that 0 is equal to x square minus x minus 6. Now it's a quadratic equation. You have to solve it by any method, by completing square method, by quadratic formula, or you can do it by factorization if possible. Let's try the factorization. Minus 6. So the possible pairs are minus 6, minus 3x plus 2x. Because you have to multiply, you will get minus 6. And when you are going to be add them, it will be minus x. In the first two terms, we have x is common, you will get x minus 3 plus 2 is common, x minus 3. From here, I will get x minus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 3 and x is equal to minus 3. So I'm going to get 2 points. So they are x-intercepts. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what we have to find the next thing? The y-intercept. For y-intercept, x is equal to 0. We have the equation y is equal to 0 square minus 0 minus 6. We get that y is equal to minus 6. So here the points are 3 comma 0 and minus 2 comma 0, and here you have 0 comma minus 6. You can see it directly from the graph as well. Any question up to here?
No, sir.
The next thing that we have to find, that is a turning point. So we have y is equal to turning point. We have y is equal to, yes, Miran?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. So we have to do the completing square method. You know that for completing square, we have to write it into this form, x minus b whole square minus b square. So x plus b square, b whole square minus b, right? In this format, we have to be right. So how we can find the b? B is equal to 1 by 2, the coefficient of x. Yes, I don't remember how to do the completing
Yes,
square.
Yes, sir.
So y is equal to x square, sorry, x minus plus b whole square minus b square minus 6 as it is. So 1 by 2 multiplied by minus 1, it's minus 1 by 2. So b value is minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by. So I'm going to get y is equal to x minus 1 by 2 whole square. If there is some coefficient of x square, so you need to take a common factor, okay? Now minus 1 by 4 minus 6. Yes, use the calculator. Please find the value of this one.
Negative 6.25
Negative
or negative 25
Yes,
over
sir.
4.
6.5. All right. Okay, so we'll get the x-intercept, y-intercept, and turning point. Let's see how to make the graph. The graph is going to look like this. The x-intercepts are -2 and 3. Let's say here you have 3. And the y-intercept is -6. And the turning point is -6.5 at +1/2. Sorry. We get the turning point is 1/2 comma -6.25. So the turning point is going to be around here. Yes, can you please tell me it's x square is positive, so it means you have a upper U shape like this. So we'll get the graph of y is equal to x square minus x minus 6. Yes, everyone, is it clear how to draw the quadratic graph?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how to do the commuting square? You already know. How to do the solving the quadratic equation? You know. This is a new thing. The turning point. Okay. This is all about in the quadratic graph. Now, the next one is cubic. The cubic means you have y is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So look at here. Here we have the a is basically the important shape, important value. If the coefficient of x cube is greater than 0, the shape of the graph is going to look like this. From right to left, it is moving like this, or it is going to look like this. Or if the coefficient of x cube is lesser than 0, so the same shape but started from right to left to right, like this, or like this. Let's check. So we are going to be talking about the quadratic graph now, cubic graph now. So let's say we have x power 3. Look at here. It is moving from right to left. If you have to add any values, let's say plus 3 x square plus 7. So look at here, the shape of the graph is going to be exactly same from left to right. It is going to be changed if you have to change the sign of x cube. Let's say you have to write -2 here. So look at here, now the shape of the graph is from left to right. Yes, Simon, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Does it mean by basically the
Yes.
whole general shape of the or rough sketching of the graph is depend upon the value of the coefficient of x cube. Greater than 0, the graph is going to look like this. If lesser than 0, then the graph is like this. In this one, the examiner will not ask you about the turning point. Yeah, if there is some situation, he's going to be asked you about the x-intercepts, and he can also ask you about the y-intercepts as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Got it, sir.
For x-intercept, you have to put y is equal to 0. For y-intercept, you have to substitute x is equal to 0. Now, the next type of graph that we have is a reciprocal graph.
Sir, do we have to draw these?
Sometimes examiner give you the graph, you have to write the value like the example that we have done above. Or maybe
For
sometimes he's
cubic,
going
do we
to
have
give
to
you the
draw?
grid. Sorry?
For cubic ones, do we have to draw them?
Yes, you have to draw them. You will just show the x-intercepts, y-intercepts. That's it. You will not show anything else. But the shape must be correct. For example, if the coefficient of x cube is greater than 0, then the shape must be moving from left to right.
Sir, so how do we know where it turns?
You just have to make a general shape. Look at here. We know the values of these. What are these values? We don't know. For
Yes.
example, let's see how to take an example. Just tell me a basic cubic function. Just tell me any value. Just tell me any general value.
Cube.
You don't have to take a constant value, okay? Because that is not included. Just tell me.
Sir, I didn't get it.
Tell me any cubic graph, cubic equation, any. Y is equal to x
Cube
cubed
plus
plus
3x
3x square
3x squared
plus
plus
5x.
plus 5x. Okay, he's not going to be give you plus 7 because that will become a cubic equation, and the factorization of cubic is not in this. Reducible quadratic is included in their syllabus. We have done this type of equations. But for example, if you have 7, that is not our part of our syllabus, okay? So you will get this type of equation. Now we will get
okay.
it. So for example, we have to make the graph. So first of all, for x-intercept, we'll take y is equal to, we'll get that 0 is equal to x is common, you will get 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. Now use the quadratic formula here. I'm just using a calculator, okay? You know how to solve it. 3, we have 2 equal 3 equal 5. Oh, we have to take a complex equation. We need to change the values. Let's see how to make it 1. All right, minus 1 by 2, minus 1. Minus 1 by 2. So you will get x is equal to 0 because the product of two terms are is equal to 0. And one value will get x is equal to minus 1 and x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see how to make the graph. So the y-intercept we have to find as well. The y-intercept is going to be 0 because if you have substitute x is equal to 0, so y will be 0 as well. Now, the x-intercepts are 0. That is your y-intercept as well. X value is minus 1 and minus 1 and minus 1 by 2. Got it? The coefficient of x cube is positive, so shape is going to be look like this.
Yes.
Yes, you just have to show this thing. That's it. Now your graph is drawn. 2x cube plus 3x cube plus 1. Let's check. Two x cube plus 3x square plus this is the equation plus x plus x. Oh, where's the graph?
Sir, plus 1 or plus x?
plus x, but where it goes? Let's do it again. What is the equation? 3x cube? Wait,
2x cubed
2x cube
cube
plus 3x squared plus x
plus 3x squared
plus
plus
x.
x. Look at here. It passes from the origin.
Yes, sir.
We don't have to find the turning points. In this case, it's minus 0.5. Again, turning point at -1. Look at here to make the same shape.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now
Yes,
the next we have a reciprocal graph. The reciprocal means you have a graph y is equal to plus minus any constant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -2, -3, -4, anyone, but divided by x. The x will be the denominator, right? The x must be in the denominator. So, for example, if we do the first case, we have y is equal to plus 1 by x. Then the shape of the graph is going to look like this. The graph will be the first quadrant like this, and in the third quadrant. It is going to be the asymptote. Okay, asymptote line we have done in the tan graph means our graph is going to be closer to y-axis, but it will never touch it. Okay, it is going to be close
Yes, sir.
close y-axis. So that line is known as
S.
asymptote. All right, the x-axis is asymptote as well as the y-axis is asymptote as well in this case. X asymptote and y asymptote. And always remember, if they are reciprocal graph, then they are making a symmetry. We have done the symmetry, right? The line of symmetry, the rotational symmetry. If you have to make the line here, y is equal to minus x, so they are going to be making an exact reflection on the other side.
Yes.
And in the same way, if you have a graph, y is equal to minus 1 by x, then in that case, the graph will be in the third quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant, same like it is going to be closest to y and never touch it. I will show you. For example, if I'm going to take a graph 1 divided by x. Look at here. It is in the first quadrant, and it look like it is going to be on a, if you have to zoom in, look at here, there is a separation. All right? You have to more zoom in,
Yes.
there is still a separation. Got it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And if, for example, if I'm going to write a minus sign here, look at here. It is in the third quadrant and first quadrant. It doesn't matter which value you are taking here. It just make a distance, increase distance. For example, if I will take 100 here. So look at here, shape is exactly same. Okay,
Yes.
the rough sketch is exactly same. Yes, Ayuma, is it clear? Any question?
yes
Yes,
sir
sir. Also.
No, sir.
Okay. This is the reciprocal graphs. Now we have the exponential. Exponential graph means you have a variable in the power, some constant 2, 3, 4, 5, -2, and it will be in the power. So the first case, for example, you have y is equal to k plus x. right? 2 raised to power x, 3 raised to power of x, 5 raised to power x, any number having a power x. So then the shape of the graph is going to look like this. It is started from the first quadrant and making the asymptote like shape in the second quadrant. And for example, if you have y is equal to k power minus x, then the graph will be started in the second quadrant and making the asymptote type shape in the first quadrant like this. So just making a change in sign, you will get the graph. Let's see how to check. For example, you have 2 raised to power x. Look at here. It is moving up from having to zoom in. So yes, I think now it is going to be more clear to my shape. Look at here. We have a space, okay? It is not on the x-axis.
Yes, sir.
So this is the graph. And if I'm going to make a change a sign, let's say I have to write minus, then it is going to be changed here from second to first quadrant.
Sir, how do we sketch these?
The same way that I have drawn. That's it. There is no need to be show the x any point here. Maybe there is some, for example, there is a specific basic case. You have to substitute x to power x is equal to 0. So you will get this value. It just passes from the 1. Look at here. This graph, I did not mention it. This graph always passes from 1 because when you have to substitute x is equal to 0, any number having a power 0 that always be 1. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You don't need to be sure anything else. Okay, now the last thing we are talking about the graph y is equal to square root of x and y is equal to 1 divided by square root of x. When you have 1 square root of x, then the shape of the graph is, it is started from a point here. It just look like this shape. Alright, and look at here, it is 1 divided by x, so it's basically a reciprocal graph. But we are talking about the square root, and in square root, you know that he will take only the positive value and the output is positive as well. So you have to make a graph in the first quadrant. And in this reciprocal graph, you have to make the graph in the first quadrant and third quadrant, right? But here we will take
Yes.
the graph only in the first quadrant because square root will not take the input as any negative number, minus 2, minus 3. He will not take that one. So the graph will
Sir,
be only
can it be on the left side?
here.
No, sir, above.
No, he's not going to go here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'm just telling the general shape. If you want to check it, you can check here. We have a square root of x. Look at here. It started from 0 and then making a shape. And you will take 1 divided by 1 divided by 1 divided by 0. 1 divided by square root of x. Yeah, look at here. This is the graph. It's going to be making a asymptote, okay? It's not going to be
Yes.
like the y-axis. In the same way, he's not going to take the on the x-axis as well. Just closer and closer, but it's going to be never touch it. Yes, everyone. The general shape of the graph is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, no. Yes, can you tell me what is this graph?
Sir,
A
reciprocal.
reciprocal.
Yes, sir.
No,
No, the B is
Exponential?
reciprocal. Yeah.
exponential graph. You have any constant having some power in the variable. Yes, what type of graph it is?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal, and you have any positive constant divided by x. It may be 1 over x, 2 over x, 100 over x, we don't know. There are sometimes he's going to give you some values in the denominator. For example, he is going to give you the value 2 power x. He's going to give you 1 over x like this. So you have to choose that. This is the right option or this is the right option. So obviously 2 power x is the right option for this one. And 1 by x will be the right option for this one. For example, it is 2 over x, so this is the right option. Because we are talking about a rough sketching. Now look at here.
Yes, sir.
This is the graph of
Quadratic.
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 and the coefficient of x here must be
Negative.
quadratic ax square plus bx plus c. We don't know what are the values for bc, but we make sure we have one thing is very clear: the coefficient of x square must be negative.
Negative.
And for example, if it is passes from the origin, then obviously there is no c value. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now here it is a straight line y is
Linear.
equal to
Linear.
x plus c,
Linear.
and we are going to be pretty sure the gradient must be greater than.
0.
0.
Now it is the last one is
Cubic.
Reciprocal?
cube. No,
Cubic.
Cubic.
cubic. It's an what is it? So y is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So what about a is greater than 0 or lesser than 0?
Greater?
Lesser than.
Less.
Less than
Less.
0, right? Obviously, you need to make this graph 1 or 2 times, so it is going to be less than 0. It is moving from left to right side. So these are the very basic graphs. These are the general shape or rough sketching. You must be familiar with these graphs. So most of the time, you are going to be get this type of topical question in the exam. Okay, this type.
Sir, so
Look at
we
it.
only
Okay,
have
sir.
to do sketching.
Yes. No. Obviously, we have to do the graph of functions in the next class as well in detail, where we have to plot the graph. There, we have to make the table and we have to plot the values, making a graph. We are going to be solve the graph graphically as well. So that's our next lecture,
Yes,
not
sir.
today.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Any question to here?
No,
No,
sir.
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.